Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews with Bouncy Camera. Back with more Homecoming Season 1. We're doing episodes 5 and 6. So if you haven't seen the episodes, please watch them and come back to this. A lot more, like we're getting more into closer to what happened on May 15th, 2018. Just a lot of just character stuff. It's kind of I don't know. I'm just not as intrigued as I am with Mr. Robot, and that's fine. This is a good story. It's just, I think if these were longer, like if these episodes were put together better, I think I would feel differently about it. The way it's structured right now, just it doesn't really make you like have to see the next episodes. I'm intrigued, but it's not really, and I don't want to binge. I don't like binging, but with the opportunity to watch all 10 episodes, I'm not like climbing the walls going, oh God, I have to go to work. I'm gonna miss watching the next 2-3 episodes. That little complaint is just a little thing. And I don't know how long this show will go on for. Is this a one and done thing? I can't really tell how long this will be going for. I mean, it feels kind of like a pretty small mystery. Maybe it has over, a bigger arc like Mr. Robot had, like it revealed. And this, the show is really well crafted and really well directed and acted and everything else. There's just something, an energy missing from it. I don't know, I just can't put my finger on it, but it is missing something. It's a little dull sometimes. Maybe that's what it is. The plot in it of itself is great. It's just kind of, again, it's a slow burn. But in 26-minute increments, it's not too slow. It actually leaves you wanting more in that instance. Not as, so maybe it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but I mean, in these small increments, you don't get enough. So you have to watch the next episode, and it's like, then that doesn't give you really enough. And so it kind of feels like I said, structurally, if they had tightened it up and just made like 5 episodes and put the, somehow edited these up, or like make it like an hour and a half long, like make it 3 parts and just have an hour and a half. I think story-wise, structurally wise, it would leave us like kind of like like how the BBC does things with like Sherlock and Doctor Who and things like that. Other than that, I mean, so these 2 episodes, Helping and Toys, are fine of themselves, and I'm sure that what Sam Esmail is doing is this: I got this much part of the story I want to tell, and then this much part of the story I want to tell. So in that way, the structure, it's his structure. So I mean, if we want to blame anybody, I guess we blame him. But he's really good. So I just these little nitpicks are kind of even frustrating for me to talk about, because I wish I didn't have little nitpicks about it. So in Helping, this episode's really got only a couple of things in it going. There's kind of a little prank war going on between Walter and Heidi, and it's pretty funny. I mean, it starts out with the glue on her stuff. That was a really funny scene, and then them going to one of their little workshops where they're supposed to go out and have a drink, pretend to have a drink with one of their friends, and what would that be like? And then mocking Craig, the guy who's doing it, because he's very nice. He looks like somebody from the 1990s, and well, I would understand and probably be comfortable in that situation. These guys, they don't get where he's coming from. So when she comes in and they do and takes over and does their little thing, and turns out to be just this little ruse so that she can have him sitting in that chair long enough for the glue to stick to his ass and get him stuck to the chair. So that's pretty funny. And they just up it to the point where, they capture the Pelican and they leave it in her office, and that's how it ends. that's really about it for their part of the story. The other part of the story is Colin, played by Bobby Cannavale, who has tracked Heidi down at the restaurant she works at. I like that he's lying when he's talking about getting the plane tickets, and the person who gives him the tickets is like, oh yeah, my grandmother dies a lot too, you know. Like, you know, how many times do people like blame dead family members that, you know, like somebody that you'll never see? Oh yeah, I can't go because my grandmother died. I love that whole little line. Like, yes, my grandmother tends to die a lot during blank times of the year. It's pretty funny. And she's trying to like have this like lie connection with Colin, who's just like, what the fuck do you talk? You know, like Bobby Cannavale is just so great. But I do love that because it's one of those kind of things that people do that, you know, nobody wants to talk about or admit to doing. You know, getting out of things by giving the excuse of something that nobody's going to question you on, usually. That putting people in that where if you question them, you're the asshole, even if they're the ones lying. I love that. That is great. But him practicing telling her off or confronting Heidi in the car mirror, great. I mean, we all do that. Like, what am I going to say to that person? Oh yeah, and you go through all the different like angles of it. It's great. I love it. Again, Sam Esmail has a great like eye on the human condition and how we are, and an unflinching look at the reality of what people are really like. But when he realizes that she has no idea who he is, that laugh, that little subtle laugh, that huh. Really great. But then he sees the guy from the Department of Defense's card in the fishbowl. Also, Tom, speaking of Tom, he goes to see Schreier, who pretty much kind of convinces, you know, like Schreier seems crazy. But I don't think that what he told Tom is, and you know, I don't think the crazy is enough to take Tom off the case yet. I think that he's hopefully noticing that Schreier is trying to tell him something, which will keep him going on the case. So that's helping. Toys, again, there's really, you know, there's only like 20 some minutes of it, you know, it's like barely a sitcom. About 20, like maybe a couple minutes longer than normal sitcoms. It's just the continuum of Colin trying to get to the answers, like, is Heidi faking? What does she really know? He takes it really far, far enough to where they sleep together. And, you know, that just shows the scumminess of Colin, how far he's willing to go to see what she really knows and how close he's willing to get to her to find out, you know. And in essence, I think him going to her and poking her for the, you know, answers that she doesn't have right now has given her the motivation to find the answers, to find out who she is, to realize, you know, like through talking to her, he has inadvertently made her be a liability to him. It would have been fine if he had just left it alone once he realized that she doesn't know who he is, but he had to poke the bear and try, you know, in an attempt to protect his own interests, he's now made it worse. Speaking of him, though, we also in the last episode see that he even has a boss played by Fran Kranz, who I love. Fran Kranz, if you saw the Joss Whedon show, Dollhouse, or Cabin in the Woods, I really like that guy. I kind of like the fact that he's like a younger, kind of nerdy guy, kind of nebbish, that's in charge of this big Bobby Cannavale presence. You know, that this is the kind of guy who even keeps this guy in check, and I don't think Colin's character likes it too much. We also have Walter's mother showing up. She's the one, this is like the prelude to the complaint she made to the Department of Defense. So she, after seeing him in the place, you know, is now convinced that there's something wrong here. And look, she's not wrong. Like when she figures out that Geist is, you know, not a part of the Veterans Affairs, and that this is a private contractor, and that this is a company that makes Drano and, you know, and things like that. Why do these guys want to help veterans? Why are these guys involved in veterans affairs? Why would a corporation care? And they don't, and she's right. This is wrong. Whatever's going on here, it's not in the best interest of the soldiers, as far as I'm concerned. It can't be, unless it's just a real huge bait and switch. But yeah, I feel like in this, you know, you see all the Department of Defense complaints too, which also sees why they need an office, because of all the complaints they get. Like, her complaint is just a pile of papers just nonstop coming in. Boom, boom, boom. So, you know, I feel like kind of that's it though. Again, I wish there's more to talk about, because we're not really getting major breakthroughs. You know, we're just getting little bits at a time. I mean, if this is how it goes in little bits, this show could last for a long time. But I'm trying to think if I could think of anything else going on here, and I really can't. The character studies, though, on all these people are really great. And even though I've said in the past that I'm not a big Julia Roberts fan, she is doing a pretty good job in this. I really like it. I like her playing this type of role. So anyway, that's it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. In the comment section, tell me what you guys are thinking about these episodes and what do you think is going on. I would really appreciate any feedback. Again, we just passed, we're like 420 subscribers, so that's great. Thank you very much. I really love all the support you guys give me and all the comments and everything like that. So if you want to know more about the channel, hit the bell so you'll never miss any of our videos. And that's it. So this is Rob Smirking Gun Review saying have a great day, and we will see you on the next video.